Alrighty, hello and welcome back. In today's video, we are going to be reviewing the brand new 007 First Light game. I recently streamed this on YouTube the other day. No one watched it anyways. But I did really enjoy this game, and I'm going to go ahead and dive in a little bit and explain how I liked it and everything. So, I have never been intrigued by James Bond or like just this 007 thing in general. But I will say, after playing this game, I am intrigued to maybe watch some of the modern day movies. I hear some of them are good, some of them are kind of okay. I'm not too sure. But I don't know why, but I went out a few months ago and pre-ordered this game at GameStop. Picked it up about a week ago, downloaded it, hit play on it, and ever since then, I occasionally, or well, no, not really occasionally, I played it relatively straightforward through the week. Live streamed it, of course, a few different times. I think I did 4 or 5 parts. I don't remember how many. There was like a 4.5 hour long stream for one of the parts. And the game overall, there are some parts where I do feel some chapters are a little overwhelmed. Specifically, some of the ones where you're in the bigger areas, and you have to kind of just I don't know how to explain it. The one of the final missions where you're kind of, I'm not going to spoil it, but when James has to infiltrate a base towards the end of the game, I felt some of the stuff that you had to do lingered a little bit. And if you watch the streams, partially it is my fault because I felt like it was just a little too long. But the game overall maybe is 10 to 11 hours long. Just I felt certain gameplay sections made it feel a lot longer. Speaking of gameplay, one of my favorite parts is the human boss fights. Sometimes in games, I don't like human boss fights because they feel weird. Because it's like if I'm shooting someone 1,000 times with a gun, they should be dead. This game doesn't give you too many opportunities to necessarily shoot the human boss fights. Or the human bosses. I guess like there's a set of twins in the game, and you technically fight both of them, but one of them is mainly a boss fight, maybe towards the 50% mark of the game. And I really like how the gameplay makes you utilize Bond's gadgets and stuff, and how you actually beat this guy with the gadgets and stuff. I thought it was interesting. And I will show some footage of these boss fights. In the final boss fight, which maybe doesn't spoil too much, but also might at the same time, it kind of just, I like the gameplay, and I think it definitely lets you utilize all of Bond's gadgets and stuff to a point where everything feels like you're utilizing all of the gadgets you're giving, and makes it look like you actually need all this stuff to go through your mission and stuff. I do wish there was more gunplay missions. I feel like there wasn't too much. And the gunplay is just, it's good. It's okay. It's nothing insane, but it's also, it works. It's perfectly balanced and everything. I do wish there was a little bit more, like, I know you're a spy, so you're not going to have, like, ARs and stuff going into a mission. I end up always getting an AR or something bigger in the missions. I'm probably not supposed to, but I do. I guess I just wanted more weapon variety, and the only thing you get like are different like skins for guns, and you have to pay for that crap, and it's like, that is a little iffy. I do wish there was some more guns to use. I did think there was a good variety of different gadgets I never would have thought of for sure, but they come up with some nice ones, and I do like it. I don't know if they're used in other Bond movies or not, but they could be. So maybe that's where they get that from. Or they just came up with new stuff on their own, which is pretty cool too. Another thing I want to talk about before I give the overall like narrative review, the melee and like fist hand-to-hand combat is awesome. I love it. If you watched me on the stream, which no one did, but if you did, you could tell I had a major love for the whole combat system. I had a lot of fun with it. I had fun just throwing hands with all like the enemies and stuff. I did like all that, and then especially if there was like a little part of a boss fight where I could do some hand to hand, it was fun, man. Because some games just have like very simple, hand-to-hand combat. This one feels like a little bit more like they thought about it and maybe worked extra on it, put extra moves and stuff. I guess extra, just a lot of extra words just said there. But just a lot of extra things you can do with the hand-to-hand combat because people are just very lazy. Maybe a simple kick, maybe a simple punch. They have you full on grabbing people, throwing people everywhere. It's just a nice game to have good gunplay and good hand-to-hand at the same time. I'm sure there's a lot out there, but I'm just talking. I'm just highlighting this specific part of this game, and it's awesome. So the overall narrative review: James Bond as a protagonist is super cool, man. He's awesome. He's pretty cool. I think everybody can agree he is definitely one of the coolest protagonists of the year so far. And I played a couple games this year. I do plan on playing a few more this year. Definitely some bigger games coming out this year. You obviously got Wolverine. You got another game called Phantom Blade Zero. I'm looking into that one recently. I think it looks alright. And then obviously you got the big month of November with Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Remaster. And I think another game, what's it called? Grand Theft Auto 6. Yeah, that's what that one's called. I forgot about that one, low-key. Here it's not that big of a game. But anyways, back to the narrative about this game and the protagonist. The only other protagonists I've really experienced this year are Lego Batman and Leon Kennedy and Grace Ashcroft. I haven't played too many other narrative games this year. I'm gonna go and be honest. I don't think this one beats Resident Evil. I don't think it does. I still think Resident Evil is a bit better. There's another game I played this year that I'm completely forgetting about. I can't explain what it was, though. I don't know. But obviously, I'm still going to give Resident Evil the edge over. I think that was a better game. I think this one has better gameplay overall. I still think that one might have been a little better narratively. While my Resident Evil Requiem review is going to be a 9.5, I'm going to give 007 First Light an 8.5 out of 10. Story was awesome. I just felt like some of the gameplay sections were a little bit too long for what they needed to be. Overall, game was awesome. Is it worth $70 though? Is a magnificent question. I feel like I did get enough enjoyment out of it to say I appreciate what I paid for, I guess. It's still what I think benefited from more of like a $60 price tag rather than the whole $70. And I hate these kind of digital deluxe editions we get now where it's just a couple skins and couple designs. The designs and stuff they give you for like the gadgets and stuff, you're never going to see those gold covers they give you in the game. You're never going to see those. You barely see those. That's just my last complaint about kind of the skins and stuff or the things you can buy with real money I don't like. But anyways, like I said, game was awesome. Hope you enjoy this video. Next game is either Pragmata or Dying Light. We'll be streaming those sooner than later. Have a good day, guys.